Hey, what's up, here, and it's time to rule the seas with Pirate Druid. The idea behind this deck is you have cards like Azsharan Gardens that just allow you to buff up all the pirates within your deck really easily, thus allowing you to get a really big pirate base, and you can use cards like Tuskar Raider to dredge them from the bottom of the deck. Or if you can generate a Nelly the Great Thrasher off of Ambassador, you're actually in a really funny position where you can actually just play a bunch of discounted pirates and win the game through that. For the Mulligan guide of the deck, you're looking for cards like Azsharan Gardens, Aquatic Form, Jerry Rig Carpenter, Tuskar Raider, Wrath, or Twin Fin Twin, especially if you have a combo between Azsharan Gardens and Twin Fin. You're actually going to be in a really good position, as this serves as either early game removal or just a really good minion to get early game buffs on. And even Tuskar Raider is really good to have in combination with Azsharan Gardens, as it'll allow you to instantly get the Sunken Gardens from the bottom of your deck. With that being said, let's look at some games. Alright, time for a game against Druid. Oh, this is actually a really funny hand. We're going to probably mulligan away the Miracle Growth and the Multicaster though. Okay, so we got the Multicaster back. Just going to use one of the Azsharan Gardens. Let's see what we get here. Oh, the Sunken Gardens. We can grab the Sunken Gardens and then coin out it just to grab it in our hand again. Okay, so the Ramp Druid. Not too big of a shock, but we should have a pretty good matchup here. Going to use the Azsharan Gardens first, and then we can use the Sunken Gardens, or just Hero Power. We can use the Sunken Gardens next turn, put down the Twin Fin, and then they should be, what, 4/3? Or 5/4s? Okay, they have Wild Heart Guff. That's not that big of a deal. Aquatic Form is interesting because we can just grab the other Sunken Gardens from the bottom of the deck. Though we could also go for the Jerry Rig. Going to use one of the Sunken Gardens, play down the Twin Fin, pass the turn back. Okay, they're going to use Jerry Rig, which will probably get them a Nourish. Then they'll gain 2 more mana. And then probably use their Hero Power. Oh, no, Moonlit Guidance. I'm assuming they're fishing for something in that deck. And there's the second Aquatic Form. We can grab the Jury Rig. Hopefully get our Nourish, but we get a Wrath instead, which isn't actually that bad. We can just instantly kill their minion and then go face. And now next turn we have the option between copying a Murloc or copying a Pirate. Pirate is probably going to be the better option. Okay, so they're going to be able to kill both of our minions, or get pretty close to killing both of them, which is technically fine. I would prefer... Oh, I guess they aren't going to attack. Okay, so we can put down a Multicaster. This should draw us 1, I think. Oh, no, 2. That's actually pretty decent. We can use the Raider to get something else, and then just go face. Might as well. They're Druid. They can't actually do much to us, so... Okay, they're going to put up a taunt. And if I was them, I would honestly kill some of our minions, just so they don't have to deal with it. They're going to gain some armor, which is a little bit frustrating. It is to be expected, though. Okay, so we have the Twin Fin, or we could use the Starfish. Twin Fin's probably the better option. We're going to copy a South Seas Captain, attack into this, and then we're just going to hit with our own face, mainly because I don't care if we take a bunch of damage here. I very much doubt they're actually still playing Kazakhstan. If they... well, I guess they could be, because the amalgams both count as dragons, and then there's another dragon here. And they can't kill both pirates, so that's actually a pretty good sign for us. Oh, there's our Guff. We can put down a Captain if we really feel like it. Going to use Guff to see what we draw first. Okay, Amalgam. We can see what we get here. Diver is not bad. Gain another Mana Crystal, just go face. We have enough HP to survive, so... we just need one thing to stick on the board, and then we win the game. And them not to gain a shit ton of armor, too. Okay, that actually just wins us the game. They can't kill both of our minions, and we can just put down the Battleground Battlemaster and get victory that way. Alright, so let's have a game against Warrior, and maybe they'll even get a taste of their own medicine for once. Going to actually keep both the Sir Finley and Ambassador here, mainly because it's a really greedy option, but it's really funny if we can get it off early enough. Wildheart Guff is a really good top deck. Sure, we don't have a turn 1 play or 2, but we should be perfectly fine. Okay, Wrath gives us something, and it isn't actually questline. Okay, so it's control. That's going to be a little bit more frustrating for our deck. It's still possible, but it's going to be a bit frustrating. Okay, we're just going to armor up a little bit. And they are going to armor up a little bit. Gardens is a perfect top deck, especially this early in the game. Then we can just use Wrath to kill their 2/3. Okay. Now we could either coin out Guff or use the Ambassador, but coining out Guff early is probably the better solution. Though we won't have enough mana to actually use our hero power, which is a little bit of a side effect. We could have also used Dredge to get the Sunken Gardens from the bottom of the depths, but oh well. We can use the Nourish here and draw into the second copy of Nourish. Or into the second Wrath, I guess. But we do get the second Nourish, which is pretty good. It was a 50-50 chance, so I liked my odds. Okay, now we can put down the Ambassador, gain 2 mana crystals, and then swap our hand for the bottom of our deck. Oh, and we probably should hero power first. And now we get to see what we actually generated here. Glug isn't terrible. Krabatoa isn't terrible. The Hunter one, though, we can just use the Sunken Gardens here. Might be a little bit of a mistake, but I'm trying to keep our minions on board out of AoE range of them. It might be a little bit harder to do than I actually would like it to be. Okay, so they're sadly going to be able to kill our minion. Actually, they'll be able to kill both. If we put down Glup, we should be able to bait out some AoE. Okay, we're going to grab Gardens, which grabs us a secondary buff. Okay, going to draw a card. Actually, not in the worst position right now. Okay, so they should be able to kill our entire board with a Shield Shatter, which they do sadly have. But if they can bait that out early enough, we should be able to just win the game from drawing into enough big targets. We're going to use our hero power to actually draw a card instead of gain a mana. Then draw 3 cards. Multicaster is pretty good. Jury Rig, I think, will just fizzle here. But we can risk it anyways. And then the Tuskar is going to get a Sunken Gardens from the bottom of the deck. The Starfish might be good to have in the top of the deck too, just because of the fact that they could have a bunch of taunt minions. If we can gain enough mana to actually play Smite plus Battleground Battlemaster in the same turn plus something else, we should probably just win the game. They are going to AoE nuke our board again, but luckily that actually gets rid of the second Shield Shatter and they shouldn't have a third copy. There's the Sunken Gardens. We can see what we actually draw here for shits and giggles. Okay, so we're drawing 2. Aquatic Form is probably the better one. We're going to gain Enrich mainly to draw 3 more cards. See what we can actually grab again. Amalgam times 2 and a Captain. That's not actually that bad. You can see what we get. Grab the Captain. See what we get off of the second Amalgam. Grab the Diver. Might have actually been better to grab the Beast removal just in case they have Nelly. I'm going to put down one of our Captains, and they have to have some type of bigger AoE to actually clear out our board, but they played 2 Shield Shatters, so they shouldn't be able to. Okay, they'll be able to kill 1 minion though. That's fine. Sure, we're losing a little bit of stats here, but next turn we are going to give them a taste of their own medicine with a Battleground Battlemaster and Leroy Jenkins, and whatever other pirates we have enough mana to actually place down. I think we will have just enough mana to put down a second South Seas captain, which is going to be really nice. We're going to attack with this first twice. Probably should have used the Sunken Gardens first, but oh well. I'm going to use it now. Keep going face. Put down Mr. Smite. Go face. And do about 50 points of damage in one turn. Positioning matters. Alright, time for a game against Hunter. This opening hand doesn't look too awful, but we're going to probably get rid of Wrath and Miracle Growth, mainly because Hunter usually is Questline Hunter, and they don't have that many minions. Okay, getting the second Jury Rig is actually really good. South Seas Captain is a little bit questionable, but it's still fine. Aquatic Form is a good top deck for turn 2 or 3. We're just going to put down a Jury Rig here, or even just Hero Power. Hoping to get a Nourish, but we get Wrath instead, and they aren't Questline, which is actually kind of a shock. They're pure Naga, I guess? Huh. Well, we can just instantly kill it, draw a card here, see what we can cycle through the deck. That's actually a pretty good top deck. We can buff up everything in our hand. Okay, so they're big Hunter. I guess that is the other Hunter deck that does float around right about now. We can Hero Power and Jury Rig if we really feel like it. See if we can actually get a Nourish, and there it is. That's a really good turn 5 play for us to actually have access to. Though it will kind of suck if we manage to ramp up before we actually get Wildheart Guff, but it is what it is. Okay, they're just going to kill our minion, then go base. I keep forgetting Big Hunter got a lot of support in the set since it's been so overshadowed by Questline. Well, we get to try to get something from the bottom of the deck. Let's see what we can actually grab here. Moonlit Guidance is actually pretty good. Let's grab that instead of the Sunken Garden, mainly because I want to see if I can actually get a secondary copy of Sunken Garden off of the Moonlit Guidance. It's a little bit of a greedy play, but sometimes you have to be greedy to win, right? Okay, they're going to summon their Ram out of the deck. It's actually really cool to see how many cards that didn't really see much play starting to see some play now. Going to grab the Twin Fin, grabbing the Sunken Gardens. Going to give away the dream of getting it off of Moonlit Guidance, buffing up our 2 minions a bunch while also drawing into another Twin Fin. Okay, so there's Beaststalker Tavish. Not too worried about it. I want to trigger their secrets as quickly as humanly possible, so we're going to see what we can actually trigger here. We don't have enough mana to play anything else, so I'm just hoping to... Oh, I guess they did have enough mana, because they did discount their beast from the bottom of the deck. Huh. Okay, so what to do? Well, we can swap with the bottom of our deck if we really feel like it. We could also use Multicaster because we'll draw 2 off of this no matter what. Or we could draw 3 with Enrich. Okay, Twin Fin, the second Nourish, we're 1 mana short. But that is the perfect top deck that we actually wanted. Next turn, we can use the Sir Finley to just swap with the bottom of our deck. Okay, they're just going to wall up. I'm wondering if one of those is going to be Emergency Maneuver, which might be a little bit frustrating for us to actually deal with it. We're just going to shuffle everything back into our deck, see if we can get a Wildheart Guff here. If we can, we're going to instantly play it. Nelly is actually really good to see in this deck because it allows us to just get a bunch more pirates for really cheap. And there's our Wildheart Guff and a Azsharan Gardens, so we can actually instantly get that next turn. We can use Nelly here, see what we get. Oh, Mr. Smite is always nice. Going for the Scoundrel and then going for the Multicaster. I kind of wanted to get the achievement here, so that's why we went for all the highest cost cards. Though Mr. Smite is usually just really good. And if we can put down all these minions, we are in a really good position to actually win the game. We have a bunch of damage in that and Battleground Battlemaster. We just need to draw into it. Okay, so we do have everything here. As long as we don't burn the Battleground Battlemaster, we should be in a really good position to win. And that kind of does tell me that it's probably going to be Emergency Maneuver. Okay, Tuskar Raider is, or Traveler, it's probably one of the better cards we could have burnt there. We're going to put down Kragwa to try to trigger as many things as humanly possible here. Okay, it was emergency maneuvers. I'm not really shocked about that. We can get the weapon, trigger the death rattle on their minion, grabbing something out of the deck. I'm glad that's out of the deck, even though we don't really have that many weapons. And then we can just go face. Actually, we could kill some of the minions just to be safe, but eh. The shitty thing is we're going to have to deal with 2 taunts this turn at a bare minimum. Now 3, because they had to get a 3rd one off of their hero power. Okay, they're going to buff up their aura attack gain. Oh, Amalgam's actually pretty cool to see. Sunken Gardens is probably what we're going to want to take from the bottom of the deck. We can play the Druid Colossus minion to just put up a wall. And then we could use one of the Amalgams if we really feel like it. But we're just going to gain a mana crystal. Actually, using one of the Amalgams isn't a bad idea. Viper allows us to actually cycle through our deck, which is what we want to do here. We're trying to get Battleground Battlemaster as quickly as possible. I don't really care if our minions survive past this turn. Hopefully, they'll just attack into them. Though it would be a really nice top deck to get a Starfish, just so we can silence everything here. I think Starfish actually wins us the game. Come on, Starfish. Right, Sunken Gardens. I forgot we put that at the top of our deck. We're going to use it. Use our hero power to draw a card here. Moonlit Guidance is a really good top deck. Starfish is exactly what we need. Then we put down Smite, Scoundrel, and Multicaster. Grabbing whatever there. And then just win the game from here. There's the second Smite. Alright, now that we're through the games, let's discuss my final thoughts of the deck. So overall, this deck actually was a really good deck, which kind of shocked me overall. I had a 55% win rate across 20 games, which actually is pretty decent. This is a deck idea that I've had for quite a while. Until recently, there weren't enough good neutral pirates to actually try to put a deck like this together. But this is the perfect opportunity to do so. As it turns out, getting Azsharan Gardens online really early and just being able to spam buffs to all your minions in your deck is really broken, especially if you can combo this with Mr. Smite or any of the other ways you have to ramp up your damage in this deck. With that being said, this deck is an easy deck for me to recommend, as most of these cards are either common in Druid already or common in something like Questline Warrior. With that being said though, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and until next time, bye bye.